Columbus State and Montevallo, the two schools on the western edge of Peach Belt Conference territory. Today they add one more chapter to their rivalry across all sports, this time in softball. Welcome to Cougar Field, ladies and gentlemen. This is Columbus State softball right here on Cougar Sports TV. Today we have the first ever meeting between the Columbus State Lady Cougars and the Montevallo Falcons, who are in their inaugural season. Hello, everybody. Will DeBoer behind the mic here on Cougar Sports TV, and we got a good one for you today. The red and the purple going up against each other. Columbus State looking to improve to 14-11 and then 15-11 on the season. Montevallo looking to get above 500. Leading off, we have Kelsey Vining, the starting center fielder for Montevallo. Number 18 on her back, the freshman out of Plano, Texas. Plano West High School, and she takes a ball outside from Lindsay DeFee. Yes, this Montevallo school recruiting all across the country, mostly from California and Texas, with one from Washington and Illinois. In fact, half the roster is not from Alabama, but from those western states, as DeFee finds the outside corner for a called strike one. Vining on the season, batting .390. It's the second highest batting average on the team. As she takes a ball outside, 2-1 is the count now. Vining known for getting on base no matter how she can, a .439 on-base percentage and a team best .600 slugging average. Chalk that up to 9 doubles, 2 triples, and 3 home runs for the freshman. As DeFee misses outside again, the count goes to 3-1. On the hill for Columbus State, Lindsay DeFee, their most common starter on the season. She's making her 11th start of the year, a 2-4 record, and a .272 ERA. And she misses another one outside. All 4 of the balls that time missing outside. And she will send Vining to first base with a leadoff walk. Now comes Celestia Davila out of San Diego, California, Grossmont High School, and she drags a bunt that stays fair. Makes the catcher rifling over to first base. And the sac bunt by Davila. 2-3 in your scorebook sends Vining over to second base. A runner in scoring position for Jessica Menser. So here is Menser, another left-hander, and she fouls one back. Count goes 0-1. Your Columbus State infield, DeFee pitching. Casey Meeks the catcher. First base is Taylor Woods. Second base, Mackenzie Fagioli. Shortstop today is Callie Starr. And the third baseman, Taylor Turner. Left to right outfield, Kaylee Boone, Kia Smith, and Rachel Rhodes. As Starr tries to throw over to first base, and she ends up knocking Vining straight on in the head. I think you have to give an error on that one for an inadvertent throw. She'll feel that one in the morning. Of course, that's why everybody wears helmets. And we're going to give her an error that time. Error on Starr. That puts 2 on and 1 out for Sydney Abunasar. Abunasar taking low and inside for ball 1. Sydney, a junior out of Yorba Linda, California. El Dorado High School and a transfer from Santiago Canyon College. She digs in with a chance to put Montevallo up early, and she bounces one back to the circle. Defee has it. A toss over to third. Turner goes to first. Double play. Fireworks early for Columbus State. Getting around the error. The rare 1-5-3 double play, and that'll end the first inning. For Montevallo in the top of the first, no runs on no hits, one error, one left on base. Middle of the first, the score, Montevallo nothing, and Columbus State coming up. You're watching CSU Softball right here on Cougar Sports TV. No score last of the first inning. Columbus State coming to bat for the first time. It'll be Smith, Fagioli, and Turner. First is Kia Smith, the young leadoff hitter for Columbus State, a freshman out of Noonan, Georgia. And she takes high for ball one from Jocelyn Higgerson. Higgerson, the starting pitcher for Montevallo, their most common starter. This is her 19th start of the year. An 11-10 record and a 4.05 ERA over a shade under 118 innings pitched. Misses high for ball two. You can expect Higgerson to go the distance. She's had 6 complete games this season. The junior with experience out of Enterprise, Alabama, and the transfer from Darton State College. Kia takes on the outside corner, a called strike one. Smith on the season, a .342 hitter, gets on base at a .446 clip. And when she gets on base, she causes a ruckus. 13 stolen bases in 14 attempts as she takes inside for ball three. Higgerson falling behind the count early. 3-1 pitch. And it catches the outside part of the plate, a called strike two. And the payoff pitch, Smith stays alive, fouls it back. We will repeat the count. Fagioli on deck. Turner in the hole for Brad Huskisson's squad, their first trip to the plate today. And the payoff pitch, swung on and missed, strike three. Kia got just a tip of it, but not enough to send it into the field. First strikeout on the day for Higgerson, and it puts one away. So here's Fagioli, Mackenzie Fagioli, the starting second baseman for Columbus State. Another one of these youngsters. She's just a freshman. Swung on, fouled back. This one out past the first base dugout for strike one. That's Fagioli, the 5'5 freshman out of Lawrenceville, Georgia, a graduate of Mill Creek High School a .262 hitter on the season. 3 doubles, 1 home run, 13 RBIs. The 0-1 pitch, fastball on the inside part of the plate, a called strike 2. So now Higgerson, instead of playing with fire all those balls to Kia Smith, is getting way ahead in the count to Mackenzie Fagioli. The 0-2 and a line drive into center, base hit. And there's the first hit of the day for either side. It comes off of the bat of Mackenzie Fagioli. Give the defensive lineup for Montevallo out there. Higgerson pitching. The catcher is Shelby Lopez. First base, Abanasor, who you saw hit into that double play in the top of the inning. Celestia Danella at second base. Shortstop is Rachel Conley. The third base is Lexus Wilson. The outfield left to right, Dylan Bailey, Kelsey Vining, and Jessica Menser. As Taylor Turner comes up and takes outside for ball 1. Turner, one of the big boppers in this lineup, more reminiscent of the old school Columbus State, which relied on power and not much else, as she swings through a drop ball for strike 1. Taylor 6 home runs, no, rather 6 doubles, 2 home runs, and 19 RBIs in the season. She leads the club in doubles and runs batted in. And she'll bat with Fagioli on first and 1 out. Outside for ball 2, Mackenzie takes off for second base. She gets there. The throw goes into the outfield. Mackenzie barreling towards third. She slides in safely. A stolen base and an error by the catcher sends Mackenzie Fagioli from first to third. The throw good from the center fielder Vining, but Wilson at third base could not handle it. So now Montevallo had their first chance in the top of the inning. Columbus State will have their shot in the bottom of the inning. A runner on third and 1 out, and the heart of the order currently due up. Taylor Turner, big Kristen Carr on deck. Behind her, Taylor Woods. All have the ability to go long. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Higgerson, and a bunt attempt, a squeeze play, and a perfectly placed bunt at that. Taylor Turner going small ball. That's the Columbus State way this year. Fagioli comes in to score, and it's 1-0 CSU. And so with the first run home early, Columbus State will look to build on that. They'll send Kristen Carr up to the plate. Kay Carr, the tallest player on either side today, standing at 6'3", one of the senior leaders of this team from Gray, Georgia. And she takes inside for ball 1. Kay Carr, a .354 hitter on the year, the team's leader in home runs with 4. Higgerson catches the outside corner for strike 1. And when we say Carr's got power, she's got power. We've seen her hit it over that batting cage out in left center field, and a weak line drive into the hands of Wilson. The rifle over to first base to double off Turner, and that is the end of the inning, just like that. Your 5-5-3 double play off the bat of Kristen Carr, and that'll bring us to the end of the first. But Columbus State strikes first on the squeeze bunt by Taylor Turner for CSU. 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, none left on base. End of the first, the score, Lady Cougars 1, Falcons nothing. You're watching Columbus State softball right here on Cougar Sports TV. We head to the top of the second inning from Cougar Field. Will DeBoer with you on Cougar Sports TV. Columbus State taking a 1-0 lead in that first inning on the single by Fagioli, her stolen base, and going to third on the error, and then Taylor Turner's squeeze bunt that split the uprights, to say, the uprights being the pitcher and the first baseman for Montevallo. So in the second inning, Wilson, Bailey, and Conley, the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for this first-year Falcon program. And first comes Lexus Wilson, the third baseman. Wilson from Kirbyville, Texas. And she takes one on the shoulder. First hit batsman of the day for Lindsay DeFee, and it automatically puts a runner on and gives Dylan Bailey a chance to hit with people on base. Bailey, the 5'6" freshman out of Chula Vista, California, Otay Ranch High School. First pitch and a bouncer over to second base. Fagioli going to second for one. The throw to first will not come. So Fagioli, good awareness to get the lead runner that time. Mark it 4-6 in your scorebook. A fielder's choice for Dylan Bailey. Erases the lead runner and puts one out on the board to bring up Rachel Conley, the Montevallo shortstop. Now, Conley, one of the black sheep of this Montevallo roster, instead of being either from Alabama, which half the school is, or from one of the western states, like half the roster is, she comes from Illinois. The land of Lincoln, coming down to Alabama, and she takes that one low for ball one. Conley, her 41st at bat on the season. She's hitting .250. With a slugging percentage of .500. And another double play chance coming up. Turner to Fagioli for one. The turn to first not quite in time. Columbus State using the ground ball to their advantage. A second straight fielder's choice and a narrow miss at their second double play. Turner went to Fagioli. Couldn't get it to Woods over at first base in time. That puts two away. Keeps a runner on first and brings Phoebe DeBoer to the plate. Phoebe DeBoer, not spelled like yours truly, DeBoer. It's spelled D-A-B-B-O-U-R, which frankly I've probably ran into a couple times. It's one of those names, you know, stick together with the pronunciation. Oh, but enough about me. It's about the player now. Phoebe DeBoer is a freshman out of Simi Valley, California. A graduate of a place that Lord would have attended, Royal High School. And DeBoer fouls this one back over our heads in the press box. 1-1 is the count. Phoebe, a four-year varsity player over at Royal High School. Her first year of collegiate ball. A .276 hitter. The team leader in RBIs with 14. To go along with 3 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs. DeFee goes low and outside for ball one. Meeks rifles over to first base to try and tag off Conley. Nothing doing that time. Casey Meeks, the rare left-handed catcher behind the plate for Columbus State. CSU most commonly using their designated player rule for the catcher. Either Meeks or Leanne Reese gets the time behind the plate, but someone else hits for them as DeFee comes inside for ball three. 3-1 is the count. Conley on first base. Lady Cougars 1, Falcons nothing. We're in the top of the second inning on a Saturday afternoon from Columbus. This game delayed by weather for 3 hours. DeFee gets her at the knees for a called strike 2. Oh, we've got some picture-perfect weather right now. The delay seems to have paid off, and we will be with you for the continuation of all two, rather both of these games. No one ever says all two. Payoff pitch coming. DeFee to DeBoer. Swung on, a bouncer. This one trickling foul down the third base line. So DeBoer, the designated player for the Falcons, will come back and try and do it again. She hits for the pitcher for Higgerson. Seventh pitch of the at-bat coming. And here is the seventh pitch. High, ball 4. Tried to cross letter high, and she ends up dotting the I's. So DeBoer goes to first base, Conley advances to second, and it brings the ninth batter in the order up. For Montevallo, it's the catcher Shelby Lopez. Lopez, a catcher and a shortstop for the Falcons. A junior and an Alabama native. She comes from Jemison, Alabama. Jemison High School and Central Alabama Community College. She bats with 2 on and 2 out. The second time in as many innings, Montevallo's got 2 runners on base. And DeFee narrowly misses the elbow for ball 1. Decent crowd on hand for a Saturday afternoon here in Columbus. A couple news media here, and even the Montevallo camera person up in the press box with us. DeFee missing high and outside, ball 2. Yes, we're still about a week shy of spring officially here in Western GA, but for all intents and purposes, this ain't winter. 2-0 the count to Shelby Lopez. They've got Conley on second and DeBoer on first with 2 outs. The 2-0 pitch low and inside for ball 3. So DeFee starting to lose control. Lindsay tends to have this trouble. 57, 58 innings for her now this season. 46 walks. Quite wild. And the 3-0 pitch, that one crossing letter high, a called strike 1. Columbus State 1, Montevallo nothing for the moment. 2 on and 2 outs in the top of the second inning. Lopez digs in. Here comes the 3-1 pitch, swung on, and a chopper through the hole into center field. The base hit. This game will tie. Conley slides in safely. It's an RBI single for Shelby Lopez, and it's 1-1. So the 9th position in the order coming through for the Falcons. It keeps the inning alive, and it'll bring the top of the order to the plate, Kelsey Vining. Vining walked and got to second base in her first trip to the plate. Went no further after the Abonassor double play. And she'll have to wait her turn as the Columbus State infield circling the, well, circle. Getting some encouragement to their pitcher who has given up the lead. Meek staying out there for a little extra time. And she'll come back, and we'll do it right here. Kelsey Vining. Again, a .390 hitter, a .600 slugging percentage. She has the ability to go over the fence. Instead, she'll bounce one over to second base. Fagioli boots it, and she can't get it. Columbus State was nearly out of it. Fagioli went to her right, went a little bit too far to her right. E4 against the Lady Cougars, and it loads the bases for the first time today. And here comes Celestia Davila to the plate. Davila in the biggest at bat to this point in the game, although it's still quite early. First pitch, grounder over to first base, backhanded by Wood, steps on the bag, side retired. So CSU gives up the lead, but it could have been much worse as Montevallo leaves them loaded. For the Falcons, 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, 3 left on base. Middle of the second, the score, Falcons 1 and Lady Cougars 1. You're watching Columbus State Softball right here on Cougar Sports TV. 1-1, Columbus State and Montevallo. We head to the last of the second inning. Woods, DeFee, and Boone due up for the Lady Cougars. First is Taylor Woods. Woods, the starting first baseman for the Lady Cougars. And she flies one out to left field. Turn and watch it go. Goodbye, home run. Taylor Woods, first pitch swinging. No doubter. This one into the parking lot behind the Cunningham Center, and Columbus State retakes the lead. Taylor Woods going long for the fourth time this season. She matches the team lead with Kristen Carr, and the Lady Cougars go back up 2-1. So here is DeFee. All of a sudden, DeFee, the pitcher, back with the lead again, and she'll look to help her cause even further right now. DeFee, the senior from Eufaula, Alabama, and Eufaula High School graduate and a Wallace State Community College transfer. She fouls one back into the screen for strike one. Nothing in one is the count to DeFee, facing Jocelyn Higgerson, looking to shake off that pitch that Woods turned into a souvenir for the fans out in left field. And it's right down the heart for a called strike two. DeFee also has long ball potential, 3 home runs and 9 RBIs on the season for her. 0-2 pitch, takes high, ball one. Columbus State went back up 2-1 with that swing off of Taylor Woods' bat. And they've still got 3 outs to work with here in the last of the second inning. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Skips in the dirt for ball two. DeFee, when she was at Wallace State Community College, used to winning. National champions in the 2013 NJCAA Division I tournament, as she flies this one up into shallow left center field. 3 Falcons converging, and it's Vining who calls them all out for out number 1. So this is Kaylee Boone now. Boone, the left fielder, wearing the number 37, a junior from Birmingham, Alabama. 3 home runs for her on the season, including a grand slam against Wingate last Sunday in the Lady Cougars' upset victory over the number 13th ranked Bulldogs. She takes outside for ball one. Boone on the season, a .293 hitter, 500 slugging average. 1-0 pitch outside, ball two, so now Boone ahead in the count. Higgerson will need to find the plate. A good hitter's pitch coming up here for Boone, who will look to sock one. 3 doubles, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs for the junior. Checks her swing, did not go around, coming inside for ball 3. Now 3-0, you expect Boone to take a pitch here. And the 3-0, outside, ball 4. So the first walk of the day by Higgerson, and it's of the 4-pitch variety. What it does is put a new runner on base for Columbus State for Rachel Rhodes. Rhodes, the starting right fielder for CSU today. Didn't get to play much in the early part of the season, but has seen her time increase exponentially over the past couple weeks. Rhodes from Lawrenceville, Georgia. This will be her 35th at bat on the year, and she flies one out into right center field. Vining going back on it, and it's gone! Turn and watch it go. Home run, Rachel Rhodes. Rhodes goes long with her first home run of the season, poking it just under that Wingate by Wyndham sign out in right center field. And that makes it 4-1 for Columbus State. So CSU, shades of traditional Huskerson ball. For the first 5 full seasons of Brad Huskisson's time here at Columbus State, this is his 6th season. He was all about that long ball. Today, he's all about the small ball, but he'll gladly take those home runs when they come, as Callie Starr, the new hitter, takes one on the outside corner, a called strike one. Callie, a freshman from Lawrenceville, Georgia, Collins Hill High School, and she skies one out into left field. If it stays fair, it's gone! Callie Starr, and it's back-to-back for CSU. Someone call the FAA. They're soaring today. 5-1, Lady Cougars. And so Callie Starr making it 3 home runs in the inning for the Lady Cougars. She goes back-to-back with Rachel Rhodes. Both Rhodes and Starr homering for the first time all season. And with it 5-1, they'll come and have a talk on the circle. Montevallo trying to re-encourage Higgerson, who served up the 3 home runs and a fly ball in this inning. Getting a talk from their manager, Lindsay Vanover. And Vanover's back in the dugout now, bringing Kia Smith to the plate. We're back to the top of the order for Columbus State, and that could spell even more doom for the Falcons, giving up those 3 home runs to the 5, 8, and 9 hitters. First is Kia Smith, who takes a letter-high strike on the inside corner. 0-1 the count. Kia, in her first at-bat, struck out swinging, but pushed it to a full count. Fought for 7 pitches against Higgerson. Now Higgerson fighting to get the train back on the track. And a shallow pop-up straight to the shortstop, Conley, for out number 2. Now it's Mackenzie Fagioli. Mackenzie in her first at-bat, a single, a stolen base, and she scored on Taylor Turner's squeeze bunt. So we've seen CSU score both ways today, the small ball and the long ball. Skies one shallow in field, this one drifting behind the foul line. Wilson coming over makes the catch and foul ground for out number 3. But not before CSU opening up the skies. Home runs by Taylor Woods, Rachel Rhodes, and Callie Starr put 4 runs on for 3 hits, no errors, none left on. At the end of the second inning, the score, Lady Cougars 5, Falcons 1. You're watching Columbus State softball right here on Cougar Sports TV. Top of the third inning from Cougar Field. Lady Cougars up 5-1 over the Falcons. Let's take a quick look at the scoreboard from the other sport in action today, men's basketball. Now, unfortunately, the Columbus State Cougars season has ended. 6-seeded CSU fell to UNC Pembroke 89-82 in the first round of the tournament today. You Montevallo fans watching might be interested to know that at the 8:45 mark of the second half, Montevallo leads Carson Newman 53-50. PBC champion Falcons giving being given all they can handle against Carson Newman. Now the Lady Cougars in action at 5:30 today, as they will take on Anderson in the second round of the NCAA tournament. And we'll keep you up to date as we can on those games. For now, it's the top of the third inning. Montevallo sending up the heart of the order: Mentzer, Abanasor, and Wilson. The first pitch from Defee to Mentzer, low for ball one. Jessica Mentzer reached on an error, retired on a double play to end the top of the first inning. One out of the count from Defee. Fastball on the outside corner, a called strike one. Meeks setting up outside the plate. Umpire giving them the call. Count goes even at 1-1. Coming way inside, and Mentzer having to turn her ballet skills in to dodge that one. In fact, she didn't dodge it. Mentzer hit by the pitch. Second hit batsman on the day for Lindsay Defee. She clunked Lexus Wilson to lead off the top of the last inning. And now the umpires having a discussion out towards first base. I guess they're going to talk about whether Mentzer did, in fact, kick that ball. First base umpire deferring to the home plate umpire, and it appears that we will have further discussion. Brad Huskisson, one of the more animated coaches that CSU has on their staff, and he's having a delightful conversation with the home plate umpire. Huskisson's saying, "Oh, it's a beautiful day over there. Surely anyone can see it. The sun is shining bright." And now the umpire is saying, "Oh, yes, you're quite right, sir. The delay here was delightful." Paraphrasing, of course. This is a family-friendly program here, Cougar Sports TV. And so after the debate, Sydney Abanasor coming to bat. Abanasor bounced into that 1-5-3 double play to end the top of the first inning. Now she bats with Mentzer on first and nobody out in the top of the third. First pitch, fastball, knee-high, strike one. Abanasor, the native of Yorba Linda, California. If that sounds familiar, it is the hometown of Richard Nixon, 37th U.S. President. That's also the home of his presidential library and his burial site, as Abanasor takes on the outside corner for strike two. So Sydney Abanasor, we're calling it from the ghost of Richard Nixon. The 0-2 pitch swung on and missed for strike three. That was a brilliant fastball from Lindsay Defee. Almost criminal, that pitch, but she is not a crook. And after that brief return of Richard Nixon, we go back to normal, regularly scheduled programming. Lexus Wilson coming to bat. One out, runner on first. First pitch, fastball on the outside corner, a called strike one. Wilson hit by the pitch to lead off the second inning. And she'll step back in to face the 0-1 count. Another fastball, this one outside, ball one. It's been a mixed bag for Defee in the circle for the first couple innings. Just one hit, but a pair of walks, a couple hit batsmen, and a run on the board for Montevallo as Wilson fouls one back to the screen. The count goes 1-2. Lady Cougars 5, Falcons 1. We're in the top of the third inning. Montevallo looking to claw their way back in their first ever meeting with Columbus State. Yes, this Montevallo program, their first year. Chopper back to the circle. Defee going to second. Star steps on the bag for one. No play. The slide by Mentzer interrupts the flow of that potential double play, but another fielder's choice for CSU. Gets the lead runner and puts two outs on the board. Scored a 1-6 fielder's choice in your scorebook at home. And Dylan Bailey will now bat as the last chance for the Falcons in this top of the third. Bailey bounced into a fielder's choice to the third base back in the second inning. She takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Wilson over on first base, not much of a threat to steal. She's attempted 1 stolen base on the year and made it. 1-1 is the count now. Bailey, another Californian from Chula Vista. That's right on the border of Mexico. Chula Vista and Tijuana, basically sister cities. Now the count 1-2 to Dylan Bailey. DeFee is ready, gets her sign from Meeks. And the 1-2 pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. Got her with a fastball. Meeks setting up outside. DeFee going inside on the setup. That results a strike right down the middle, and Bailey had no chance. So more runners get on for Montevallo in the top of the third, but they cannot capitalize. For UM, no runs on no hits, no errors, 1 left aboard. Middle of the third, the score, CSU 5, U of M 1. You're watching Columbus State Softball right here on Cougar Sports TV. We head to the last of the third inning. For Columbus State, the heart of the order, it's Turner, Carr, and Woods coming to bat, and they will face a new pitcher. Jocelyn Higgerson done after just 2 innings in the circle. Now they will face Jana Kelby Armstrong. We'll call her J.K. Armstrong, the new pitcher for the Falcons. And she stands in and delivers the first pitch to Taylor Turner. Low for ball 1. Turner in her only at bat against Higgerson had that brilliant squeeze bunt that threaded the needle between pitcher and first base. 1-0, bouncer, foul. That one clipping Turner's shoulder in foul territory. Oh, Armstrong, the new pitcher, a 5'7" junior out of Wilsonville, Alabama, the pride of Cornerstone Christian High School. This is her 22nd appearance on the season. 2-3 record and a 5.50 ERA through just shade under 50 innings. And she missed outside for ball 2. A number that was particularly important in the last inning. Armstrong has given up 6 home runs on the season. Higgerson, with her 3 in the second inning, has now given up 23 home runs on the season. So you can expect a drop-off in home run chances potentially here for Columbus State. 2-2 is the count now to Turner. Armstrong looking to start her appearance in style. And she does not. It's a base hit up the middle for Taylor Turner, and she is heading for second. Garrett Key, the first base coach, giving her the sign to go around, and she's in with a stand-up double. Turner with a rocket off the bat. No chance for Conley over at shortstop. No chance for Bailey or Vining to get to that one. And Turner gives away her batting armor, what have you, to Brad Huskisson at third base. And it puts the runner in scoring position for K-Carr. Kristen Carr lined into a double play to end the first inning. First pitch and a tapper. Back to the circle. Carr barely moving out of the batter's box. And she is forced out at first base, but it's a productive out nonetheless. Taylor Turner advancing to third. And so with one out and a runner on third base, here comes the one who started the onslaught back in the second. It's Taylor Woods. She took a first pitch from Higgerson and sent it all the way 300 feet into left field. Well, maybe not 300 feet. We'll say 250. The fence out there is 200 feet. It's 200 all around here at Cougar Field. In any case, she did not go just 201 on that one. Turner on third base, one out. Here's the pitch from Armstrong. Fastball inside, ball two. Oh, Columbus stayed up 5-1 over Montevallo in the bottom of the third inning. But the Lady Cougars looking to tack on one more run. They've got Turner on third base. 2-0. Woods takes low, ball three. J.K. Armstrong being very careful with Taylor Woods as she watched from the dugout. Saw Woods start that power rally for the Lady Cougars in the second inning. 3-0 pitch, outside, ball four. Armstrong will have none of that. It's a 4-pitch walk issued to Taylor Woods. But Montevallo not out of the woods per se just yet. Not by a long shot. Here comes Lindsay DeFee. Starting pitcher, holding a 4-run lead. She can add to it with one swing. And she has a history of doing that. 3 home runs already for DeFee this season. Fastball high for ball one. Lindsay as a pitcher holds a 2.72 ERA. Doesn't give up many runs. With a score like this, you'd expect she wouldn't need many more as she lines out to right field. Menser grabbing that one. No time for Turner, who's not the fastest runner, to tag up and score. So DeFee is retired for the second time today, and it brings Kaylee Boone to the dish. Boone walked and came home on Rhodes' home run in the second inning. Now she bats with Turner on third, Woods on first, and 2 outs in the third. First pitch, Armstrong having some trouble finding the plate. High and outside for ball one. Boone with 3 home runs on the season. She hit 14 of them last season at Southern Union Community College. A slugger if there ever was one, although you wouldn't know it if you asked her favorite baseball player. Kind of an unusual choice. It's Brett Gardner, the speedy New York Yankees outfielder. And she lines that one just foul. She needed to line it out, and she couldn't quite. Yes, Boone choosing the speedster over at Yankee Stadium as her favorite ball player. Gardner's a South Carolina native, while Boone is from Birmingham, Alabama, so, well, serendipitous. You could call it that. I'll call it that as well. 5-1 Lady Cougars last the third inning. And Boone bounces one through the hole in the middle, base hit. Turner comes in to score, and it is now 6-1 Columbus State. Oh, Kaylee Boone keeping the rally alive and putting CSU on the board for the third time in as many innings. Kaylee with her 10th RBI on the season. She's in double figures in that runs batted in category. And it brings Rachel Rhodes, who socked a 2-run homer in the last inning, up to the plate with 2 on and 2 out. And she calls time. Rhodes, the junior, redshirted last year, her first season with the Lady Cougar program. First pitch, she takes a fastball down the heart, a called strike one. Rhodes, a member of the third-place team in the state at Mill Creek High School, back as a senior at that institution. And she'll take outside for ball one. Perhaps a pregame ritual for her favorite food, IHOP pancakes. The International House of Pancakes. Not the Waffle House. Notably not the Waffle House, the rival chains down here in this part of the country. As Kaylee Boone is shaken up on that throwback over to first base. Lopez snapped a throwback there. A Brontosaur applied the tag and appeared to knock Boone in the face. Either it was the tag or she slid face first into the bag. First base coach Key giving her back her batting helmet. And she appears to be all right. And we will continue action. So Boone all right on first base. Woods on second, 2 outs. A 2-1 count coming to Rachel Rhodes. J.K. Armstrong ready with a 2-1 pitch. And a pop fly into shallow right field. Danilia coming over to make the catch, side retired. But Columbus State putting another run on the board. The double by Taylor Turner leads to the 2-out single by Kaylee Boone. For Columbus State, 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left aboard. End of the third, the score, Lady Cougars 6, Falcons 1. You're watching Columbus State softball right here on Cougar Sports TV. Six to 1, Lady Cougars on top. Top of the fourth inning. Montevallo going to send up the bottom of the order. It's Conley, DeBoer, and Lopez. First comes Rachel Conley, the holder of the only Montevallo run on the day. Reached on one of the fielder's choices back in the second inning and came in on Shelby Lopez's 2-out single. Now Conley, 2-time All-Conference selection at Westglen High School over in New Baden, Illinois, takes a ball. Count goes 1-0. Conley from Westglen High School came to Montevallo by way of Kaskaskia College in Illinois. She takes a strike on the outside corner. 1-1 is the count. When she was at Kaskaskia 2013, the team offensive MVP was Rachel Conley. And she fouls one back past the first base dugout into the alleyway behind us here in Cougar Field. Cougar Field on the edge of this Columbus State campus. Quite extensive, a rather nice campus. You can stare across the yard here through the trees and see the old Peachtree Mall. See a Dilliard store out there. Probably not named for Annie Dilliard, the famous author, but we're going to assume so for the sake of the argument. 1-2 is the count now to Conley. DeFee has walked the first hitter and hit the other two first hitters in the innings, looking for her first retired first batter, and she may get if she can recover on this one. The throw is low. Woods can't scoop. Lindsay DeFee having all sorts of trouble on that one. And they're going to assess another error against Columbus State. Now here's Phoebe DeBoer coming to bat, the designated player, with Conley on first and nobody out. First pitch from DeFee, fastball, let her high for strike one. Meeks rifles over to first base, not nearly in time. Conley over at first base. 2 stolen base attempts on the season. She has been successful once and unsuccessful once. DeBoer, the team leader in RBIs with 14. 0-1. The pitch is low and outside for ball one. Another throw over to first base. Meeks has the same advantage behind the plate that a left-handed slap hitter like Kia Smith would have at the plate for Columbus State. Because she's a left-handed catcher, her momentum is automatically pulling her towards first base when the pitch is thrown. So she gets a head start on that motion, and the potential to throw runners out at first base as she faked the attempt that time on an outside pitch. 2-1 is the count now to DeBoer. Montevallo in a 5-run hole in the top of the 4th inning. Remember, the mercy rule at this level is 8 runs after 5 innings. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Meeks throwing over to first base again. Conley shortening her lead and staying close to that bag as Meeks has either thrown the ball or pump faked on all 4 of DeFee's pitches in this at-bat. And the 2-2 pitch. Outside, ball 3. Tried to catch the outside corner and missed. DeBoer skilled at drawing walks. She's fought her way to a 3-2 count. Just a .276 hitter coming into today, but a .411 on-base percentage. And the payoff pitch. Low, ball 4. DeFee trying for the low outside corner. The umpire not giving her any room to work with. And that puts 2 runners on with nobody out. And the 9th hitter, Shelby Lopez, coming to bat. Lopez holds the only RBI for Montevallo today. The 2-out single back in the 2nd inning to score Rachel Conley, who is on second again for this at-bat. Conley on second, DeBoer on first. No outs, top of the 4th. DeFee's been in trouble every inning, but this perhaps the most significant, and she's got to get 3 outs. And a bouncer foul. This one headed towards the CSU dugout. Columbus State breaking out the old lavender uniforms this afternoon for Strikeout Cancer Day. A reading of names of those close to the players of both sides, of people who either are currently suffering from cancer, have overcome cancer, or have fallen to cancer. Quite a lengthy list of names, actually. Just puts things in perspective. This is just a softball game. There are far more important things in life. 0-2 the count. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Shelby Lopez chasing on a drop pitch. 3rd strikeout of the day for Lindsay DeFee. And she's a third of the way to getting out of this jam. This is Kelsey Vining at the dish. Vining reached on a walk and an error in the first and second innings. We're back to the top of the order the third time through for Montevallo as Vining takes on the outside corner, strike one. Kelsey Vining from Plano, Texas, Plano West High School, comes from quite the athletic family. Her father, Court Vining, was a varsity wrestler at the University of Nebraska. That part of the country, they love their wrestling. Bunt attempt goes foul for Vining. Count goes 0-2. Now I wonder if Kelsey felt the pressure growing up as the daughter of a wrestler to get into it herself. Or if it's like the way it is with football players nowadays, encouraging their sons not to play football. In any case, she chose softball, and she's been quite successful as it is. She sends a little dribbler over to first base. Woods steps on the bag for the force, and that's her only play for it. As good as a sac bunt for Kelsey Vining. She grounds out to first base, but sends Connolly and DeBoer into scoring position. Anything to the wall will surely score both of them. Anything through the hole could score them. Connolly and DeBoer, not the fastest of runners, but Connolly will score, and DeBoer could round third and score on the right type of hit. Fastball misses low and inside for ball one. Celestia D'Amelia, Davila, Bedelia, tomato, let's call the whole thing off. I feel like I'm in a children's book right now. A children's book that has Davila even 1-1 with Defee. 2 on, 2 out. CSU holding the 6-1 lead. Montevallo with just one hit on the afternoon, but with a chance to shave some runs off of this Columbus State lead as Davila fouls one into the far corner in right field. Rhodes having to chase it down. This one just went final from Harrogate, Tennessee for you Montevallo listeners. Falcons win 74-69. They will advance to the second round of the NCAA tournament to face UNC Pembroke. 1-2 pitch, another bouncer foul. Davila staying alive, looking to capitalize on this chance. And so in that NCAA tournament, we will see a rematch of the PBC semifinals from last week, in which Montevallo knocked off the hosts of UNC Pembroke. I believe that score was also 74-69. 1-2 pitch bounced way outside for ball two. The Falcon basketball team putting it together at the right time. Behind Southeast Region Player of the Year, Torin Brown. Falcons looking to get back to the national conversation. 2-2 is the count now to Davila. 2 on and 2 outs. The pitch from Defee. Swung on and missed. Strike three. Got her with a fastball. Casey Meeks with the fist pump. And Lindsay Defee walking the tightrope. Succeeds to the other side this time around. We'll see if she can keep doing it. For Montevallo in the top of the fourth inning. No runs on no hits, 1 error, 2 left on. Middle of the fourth, the score, Lady Cougars 6, Falcons 1. You're watching Columbus State Softball right here on Cougar Sports TV. We head to the last of the fourth inning. Columbus State with a 5-run lead. They put 3 more on the board and hold that lead in the next half inning. We'll all go home early, or at least start the second game early. Doubleheader scheduled for today. It'll start either 30 minutes after this one or at 5:30 on the dot. Columbus State sending the 9, 1, and 2 hitters to the dish. Starr, Smith, and Fagioli. First is Callie Starr, who socked her first home run of the season in the second inning. Poked one just over the 200 marker out in left field. And she takes inside from Armstrong for ball 1. Starr, the Collins Hill High School graduate, 10-time varsity letter winner at Collins Hill, a jack of all trades, 4-time softball letter winner as she takes a strike, 1-1. 4 for softball, 3 for lacrosse, 2 for basketball, and 1 for soccer. Across those 4 sports, she won 3 state championships. So she's got quite a busy ring finger and adjacent fingers for official school functions, all those state rings. Now she'll face a 1-2 count against J.K. Armstrong. Here's the pitch. And a liner into center field, base hit. Callie Starr 2 for 2 on the day. Airmailing one into the center field grass. Vining could have dove for that one, but that would have been terribly ill-advised. It brings Kia Smith on the top of the Columbus order to the plate. They are now looking at the Falcon pitchers for the 3rd time today. In Smith's previous 2 at-bats, a strikeout and a pop-out to short. First pitch, bunt attempt, brings it back inside on a high and inside fastball. 1-0 is the count. Columbus State up 6-1 in the last of the 4th inning. Callie Starr over on first base. 1 for 1 in stolen base attempts this season. And Kia bunts one right back to the circle. Armstrong going for the lead runner over at first base. So Smith tries to bunt her way aboard or sacrifice Starr over to second, and either way, it does not work. Smith now on with a fielder's choice, and it brings Mackenzie Fagioli to the plate. Fagioli 1 for 2, a single, a stolen base, a run, and a foul out to third as she takes high for ball 1. J.K. Armstrong has had some control troubles periodically in her first inning and a third today. 1-0 pitch, and she misses that time for ball 2. And she'll get a few words of re-encouragement from her third baseman, Wilson. Hitters count now for Fagioli, 2-0. Armstrong with the pitch. Fastball. And we're waiting for the umpire's call. It appears it was a ball. In fact, it was. 3-0 is the count. Fagioli almost certainly taking on this 3-0 pitch. She does, and it's a strike. Gets past the catcher, Lopez. Lopez couldn't handle that one. Came inside on her. And Kia Smith will go over to second base on the passed ball. Smith, the speediest CSU runner, 13 of 14 on stolen base attempts this season, and she goes to second base unimpeded. Bouncer over to second base. Villa has trouble with it, but gets it over to first base in time. Davila almost coughed it up and cost her team an out. Instead, she recovers in time to get Fagioli at second. But it does advance Kia Smith over to third base. 2 outs, and the third hitter in the order, Taylor Turner, coming to bat. First, we'll have a discussion. The 2 umpires meeting on the left side of the circle this time to confirm the out. And no protest this time from Brad Huskisson. He'll let it play out. Huskisson again in his 6th full season as the head coach for the Lady Cougars. The 4th coach in CSU history. He was the interim head coach at the end of the 2008 season as Turner bounces one over to shortstop for the 3rd out of the inning. An easy play for Connolly, and that will retire the side. Anyway, Huskisson, the interim coach, the end of 08 and through all of 09 before having that tag removed for the 2010 season. And he's a couple innings away from his 225th career victory with CSU. For Columbus State in that inning, no runs on 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left on base. End of the 4th, the score, Lady Cougars 6, Falcons 1. You're watching Columbus State softball right here on Cougar Sports TV. Top of the 5th inning, Montevallo down to their last 9 outs with a 5-run deficit. They've got Menser, Abanasor, and Wilson, the heart of the order, coming up to face Lindsay DeFee. Cruising is not the word you could describe, but she's getting there. Getting there is Lindsay DeFee, with just 1 run against and 1 hit, despite working around all sorts of base runner trouble through the first 4 frames. She stranded 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third, and 2 in the fourth. First pitch to Menser, a fastball clipping the outside corner, called strike 1. Menser reached on an error and was hit by a pitch in her previous 2 trips to the plate. She'll look to get there safely for the first time today, as the home plate umpire has a quick chat with Casey Meeks. Not sure what that was about. In any case, the count goes to 0-1. DeFee looks at her wristband, awaiting the signs, and she's ready with the 0-1 pitch. Skips the dirt, ball 1. Menser from Enterprise High School, a Gold Glove and Silver Slugger at that institution. Now she's slugging her way through her first season here at Montevallo. That one trickling foul. Menser had given up on it. Meeks awaiting for it to bounce back into the field of play, but it does not. One and 2 is the count. Menser ready for it. Here's the pitch from DeFee. Fastball missing inside, ball 2. Caught a woo of excitement. Either that was from a Columbus State fan who thought that should have been a strike, or a Montevallo fan who thought, oh my, that was the best taken pitch I've ever seen in my life. More likely that it is a CSU fan, as we hear the same fan screaming in celebration for the strikeout. Menser goes down swinging on the drop pitch. For Lindsay DeFee, it is her 5th strikeout of the day, 2nd consecutive, and the first leadoff batter of an inning that Lindsay DeFee has retired all day. So now she's got her chance for her first 1-2-3 inning. And it'll come against the most difficult part of the order. Now it's the cleanup hitter, Sydney Abanasor. First pitch, missed outside, ball 1. Abanasor bounced into a double play and struck out in her previous 2 trips. Now the most inspirational player at El Dorado High School will face the 1-0 pitch and take outside for ball 2. Nabanasor, despite hitting fourth, not much of a long ball threat through the first part of the season. Just 1 home run, that's her only extra base hit. And she takes that one square on the elbow. But will not get to advance to first base. Umpire ruling that she did not, in fact, make a concerted effort to get out of the way of that pitch. And so Lindsay Vanover coming over to have a talk with the umpire, trying to get a clarification on the ruling. Vanover, the first head coach in Montevallo program history, was named the head coach on 11/12/13. That was November 12th, 2013, more than a year before the Falcons started playing their first games. And she and assistant Alexa Peterson had to build this program up from scratch. And they have done so fairly successfully thanks to strong financial backing from the U of M trustees, the coffers in that institution. Before playing this regular season, they took a fall trip out to California for a recruiting tool. Also serves as a sort of showcase for the 8 or 9 or so Californians on the Montevallo roster. They started out their run as a program with a bang back on January 31st, rather, beating West Alabama twice in walk-off fashion in front of a crowd of over 1,000 strong at the new Orr Park in downtown Montevallo. 3-0 is the count. And now Brad Huskisson coming out to give his input to the umpire. So we've seen both managers come out to talk to the home plate umpire on that last disputed ball that struck Sydney Abanasor square in the elbow. Huskisson having his talk, the first base umpire coming over to see if he can help with clarification. And their conversation has concluded. Huskisson going back to his dugout, and we will, after the slight delay, resume play here at Cougar Field. The count is 3-0 to Abanasor. Defee in danger of walking her first batter of the inning. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball 4, and she does indeed fall to the walk. First 4-pitch walk of the afternoon for Defee. And she's still looking for that 1, 2, 3 inning. She'll have to wait at least one more frame. Now it's Lexus Wilson coming to bat. Wilson and Montevallo down 5 runs. They'll need to start scoring here in a hurry. And Wilson, who has reached on a hit batsman and a fielder's choice, fouls her first pitch to the alleyway behind us. Taking 100 or so bounces, it would get to the Lumpkin Center. Wilson, one of the top purveyors of extra base hits on this U of M roster. 4 doubles, a triple, and 9 home runs. She's gone long 9 times. And she looked like she wanted to go long a 10th time on that swing. Swings through the fastball. 0-2 now the count. Defee working with a runner on first base. A rather comfortable position for her this afternoon. She has stranded runners in every inning. Most notably in the second, the time that Montevallo scored their only run. She left the bases loaded when she got Celestia Davila to ground out harmlessly to first base. Now she'll take a ground out here. CSU already with 1 double play on the day and at least 5 other chances for them. Very tough to turn a double play in softball, but they will take their chances when they get them. Wilson stands in for the 0-2 pitch. Fastball outside, ball one. DeFee still just one hit against. And she's been able to keep the hit totals for opponents rather low on more than one occasion. She misses outside for ball two. I'm thinking of a game back on February 17th against West Alabama when the Lady Cougars lost in 10 innings and DeFee went all 10 innings, allowing just one hit. But she also allowed 3 earned runs and 6 total as Wilson skies one to center field. A diving catch made by Kia Smith. The Kia outselling the Lexus that time. Smith coming in, taking the dive, and coming up with a brilliant catch, 2 away.
There's 2 outs, and up to that is number 17, Ellen Bailey.
So DeFee, if she's going to keep just one hit on the board, will surely take that great defense. Infield, outfield, she'll take what she can get. And with 2 outs, Dylan Bailey taking a fastball on the outside corner, a called strike one. Bailey 0 for 2 today, a fielder's choice and a strikeout. Going back to their first games against West Alabama, Bailey, one of the heroes, as she takes outside for ball one. In that first game, it was Sydney Aguilar who had the 2-run single to give them a 6-5 win. In the second game, it was Bailey with a bases-clearing double in the bottom of the 7th that gave Montevallo a 9-8 win. 1-1 pitch, low and outside, ball two. Lady Cougars leading 6-1 in the top of the 5th inning. They've got Abanasor on first base and 2 outs. And that one missing outside. Count goes 3-1. Bailey looking to extend the inning. Rachel Conley would come up next. Conley has the only run of the day for Montevallo. DeFee with the 3-1 pitch. Fouled back to the screen. The count goes full. Columbus State seeking their 14th win of the season. This just their 3rd game in Peach Belt play. They split a midweek series at Lander about 3 days ago. Montevallo, significantly more games. They're 14-16 on the year, 5-5 through Peach Belt play. Now the payoff pitch from DeFee. Fastball just missing outside, ball 4. So the walks coming to haunt Lindsay DeFee again. She has 2 in this inning, 2 more base runners for the Falcons. And now with 2 down and those runners on first and second base, Rachel Conley will have a chance to chip a couple runs off of this CSU lead. Conley, the starting shortstop, reached on a fielder's choice back in the 2nd and scored on Lopez's RBI single. And reached on an error by DeFee back in the 4th, getting all the way to 3rd base before being stranded. Now Conley, the Lincolnite, stepping in, takes a fastball on the inside part of the plate, strike one. Conley, 5 extra base hits on the year, a pair of doubles, pair of home runs, and a triple. Anything in the gap could put 2 runs on the board for the Falcons. And a liner back into the screen. Very quickly, Conley in an 0-2 hole. And Lindsay DeFee bending once again, trying not to break. The 0-2 pitch coming from DeFee. Low, ball 1. Trying for the knees. That one crossing at the socks. So the count goes to 1-2. Conley getting another chance at it. Looking to find the gap, looking to cut some runs off the lead. And a bouncer back to the circle. DeFee, the easy play over the first base side, retired. So Lindsay DeFee living a life of danger and living well once again. For Montevallo in the top of the fifth inning, no runs on no hits, no errors, 2 left aboard. Middle of the fifth, the score, Lady Cougars 6, Falcons 1. You're watching Columbus State Softball right here on Cougar Sports TV. Six to 1 Lady Cougars last of the fifth inning. Columbus State sending up Carr, Woods, and DeFee, 4, 5, and 6 to face a new pitcher from Montevallo. That is number 1, Kelsey King, making her 12th appearance on the season. First pitch, Carr going for it all that time and coming up with just about none of it. Yes, King the new pitcher for Montevallo and a new catcher as well. She is tossing that to number 22, Haley Snyder. So a brand new battery. They're making the switch from AA to AAA or something like that. 0-1 coming inside on Carr. Kristen flexes her knees out of the way of that one. King with the 1-1 pitch, lines one. Nearly took like 6 people's heads off. Now, if any of those Columbus State players had fallen asleep in the dugout, that surely woke them up. And whoever slept through that could sleep through an earthquake. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Carr. Swung on and missed for strike 3. King Fuller with an off-speed pitch, and Kristen is down on strikes for the first time today. So now this is Taylor Woods. Woods with a home run back in the second inning. That began a run of 3 home runs in 5 at-bats for the Lady Cougars. First pitch high for ball 1. Kelsey King, the new pitcher, a junior out of Oneonta, Alabama. Oneonta High School there. There's also an Oneonta in New York. The National Soccer Hall of Fame used to be there. Two 2-0 is the count to Woods. Taylor ready for the 2-0 pitch. And she fouls this one back out towards Ragsdale Field, the home of CSU baseball. Cougar baseball team on the road this weekend. over in Milledgeville, taking on Georgia College. Currently up 3-0 in the top of the third inning. Woods taking low for ball 3 that time. 3-1 is the count. Still a good hitter's count. King wouldn't want a walker. 3-1 pitch. Another foul. That one gets her on the hands, and another foul ball out in the direction of Alora Thompson, who has to get on her tippy toes to get through the mud that is out there behind the first base bullpen of Ragsdale Field, and she has both balls, and she is happy about having both of them. So now she will walk a little more normally as she gets to dry land to return those to her dugout. Payoff pitch to Woods will do it again. That one bouncing off the screen into the glove of Snyder. Little known fact in softball, in some countries like Ecuador and Uruguay, if you bounce it off of the net and into the catcher's mitt, it's half an out. Can you imagine getting 2.5 outs in an inning? It'd be very hard to get just that last half out. And Alora will have to go out and get another ball out there from right field of Ragsdale Field. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming to Taylor Woods, and getting confirmation that, in fact, they do not play the half-out rule in Ecuador or Uruguay. 3-2 and another foul ball. Taylor Woods engaging in an epic battle with Kelsey King. This will be the 9th pitch, and she fouls that one square into right field of the adjacent baseball field. So returning the favor of what CSU baseball did to softball a couple times this past week. Games against Stillman and Tusculum. There were some CSU ball players who homered onto the softball field as Woods gulps this one into the far out infield. Davila makes the catch for out number 1. Yes, on Tuesday in CSU's 28-0 baseball victory over Tusculum, Caleb Williams hit a home run that cleared not only the scoreboard and the flagpole, it ended up in about left center field of this softball field here. That's how far he hit a baseball. Quite phenomenal. And here's Lindsay DeFee. 0 for 2 on the day. Fly out to center and a line out to right. And then in the Stillman game, it was Matt Nettles who went deep with a grand slam that conked off the top of that third base dugout and onto the softball field as DeFee fouls one down the third base line. The count goes 1-1. The Lady Cougars showing off their strength at the dish back in the second inning. It was Woods and Rhodes and Starr who each homered off of the starting pitcher Jocelyn Higgerson, who is on the hook for the loss right now. Lindsay DeFee, the one at the plate, in line for the win if she can hold a 5-run lead, and history showing with her 2.72 ERA that she can hold a 5-run lead. Now the count 2-1. DeFee locked in with Kelsey King. ERA hovering around 7, and DeFee rockets one over to short. Connolly has it on 2 hops, a throw over to first base in time, side retired. So an easy first inning of work for Kelsey King in her first appearance on this field. She sits down the Cougars in order, the first 1-2-3 inning for either side in this first game. End of the 5th inning, the score, Lady Cougars 6, Falcons 1. You're watching Columbus State Softball right here on Cougar Sports TV. Way to the top of the sixth inning from Cougar Field. Will DeBoer with you on Cougar Sports TV. It's been a good day to be a Cougar in this part of the country. CSU leading 6-1 over Montevallo in the two schools' first ever softball matchup. These teams extending their rivalry to a new medium beyond basketball, which saw them engage in that epic PBC Men's Tournament Championship last weekend, and a couple postseason volleyball matchups. Yes, Columbus State and Georgia College volleyball, not the baby programs of PBC athletics anymore. Now it's Montevallo softball. DeFee going outside on DeBoer. Phoebe DeBoer, Haley Snyder, and Kelsey Vining due up in the sixth inning for Montevallo. Falcons playing their second series of the weekend. They went to Georgia Southwestern yesterday as fly ball out to left field. Boone gets under it, makes the easy catch for out number one. Falcons taking on the Lady Canes in Americus and winning 5-1 and 12-10. Now they're hoping they didn't use up all their runs in Americus. They'll need 5 of them and just 5 outs to get them in this first game here against the Lady Cougars. Snyder, a ground ball underneath the glove of Turner, base hit. And the first hit of the game for Montevallo since the second inning, when Shelby Lopez, also in the ninth spot, had the RBI single. So the 9-hole coming through for Montevallo in a big way today. The only 2 hits against Lindsay DeFee coming from that ninth batter catcher position. And with 1 out, Snyder starts a rally and brings the top of the order to the dish. Now Kelsey Vining in her 4th turn at bat. Her fourth look at Lindsay DeFee, and Lindsay missed outside, ball 1. Vining heretofore, a walk, reached on an error, and a ground out. Snyder, a catcher over at first base. 1 stolen base attempt on the season, and a rocket shot off the glove of Woods at first base. Another single, back-to-back hits for the Falcons, and that one getting away from the CSU infield. It trickles into the third base dugout, and that will allow 2 runs to score. And so Snyder comes in on the error. Vining with the single. The throw from Rhodes trickled past at least 3 or 4 Lady Cougar infielders. And Brad Huskisson not happy about this at all. So mad that he's even stepping on that third base line. Now, a brief conversation. Huskisson demonstrating his new cell phone plan out for the umpires, saying, "You should try Verizon. It's so much better than AT&T." Paraphrasing, of course, and no, there's no payola scam. I am not sponsored by Verizon. If any Verizon executives are speaking or are listening right now and would like to sponsor me, we can talk off the air. So now the score 6-2. Montevallo with their first run in 4 innings. And they got a chance for another one as they've got Speedy Vining on third base and 1 out for Celestia Davila. First pitch, fastball catching the outside corner, a called strike 1. Davila 0 for 2, a sac bunt, a ground out, and a strikeout. Now Montevallo with 3 hits on the board, also taking advantage of 4 Columbus State errors. And she runs through it. I suppose you could count a swing as running with the bat straight on, but past the plate. In any case, it's a strike. Defee ahead in the count early, 0-2. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Got her with the inside pitch. Davila over anticipating that time. Can't get the bat back in time. Second strikeout for Davila. For Defee, her 6th strikeout of the day. Lindsay over a strikeout an inning. And a bouncer over to second base. Menser grounding out to Fagioli, and that ends the inning just like that. In the blink of an eye, a Montevallo rally turns into CSU escaping the jam, and Defee giving up just 1 unearned run in that inning. But Montevallo does get 1 back on the board to cut the deficit to 4. For the Falcons, 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, 1 left aboard. Middle of the 6th, the score, Lady Cougars 6, Falcons 2. You're watching Columbus State softball right here on Cougar Sports TV. Bottom of the 6th inning, Columbus State gave up a run in the top of the inning. Now they look to get 1 back in their half of the frame. Boone, Rhodes, and Starr, the bottom of the order. That doesn't necessarily mean no runs. They've done the heavy lifting for Columbus State so far this afternoon. First pitch to Boone coming way inside for ball 1. Kelsey King in her 2nd inning of work. King, one of the 3 Montevallo pitchers on roster. And she'll look to hold CSU at bay for this inning and give Montevallo a chance. They're within striking distance if they can keep it at a 4-run deficit. And Boone fooled on that slow pitch from Kelsey King. That almost looked like an Ephus pitch. Boone, an RBI single back in the 3rd, walked and scored a run in the 2nd inning, and she takes inside for ball 2. Kaylee, the 3-time varsity letter winner at Oak Mountain High School. That's a great name for a high school, by the way. Not just my opinion, the official independent commission on great high school names coming up with that ruling. And Boone takes inside again for ball 3. King not fooling around. Must have seen the game tape on Kaylee Boone, who has 3 home runs this season, including that grand slam against Wingate last week. King getting her side from Snyder. Here comes the pitch and a bouncer, foul. If it had stayed fair, it would have gone over the head of Wilson at 3rd base. But King fighting back to make the count full. Boone in the number 37. One of the most random numbers in all of numbers. That's why so many people like it, I guess. Here's a payoff pitch coming from King. And a bouncer over to shortstop. Connolly has it. The throw over to first base in time. 1 away. Routine play for Rachel Conley. Shortstop with 2 straight putouts dating back to the last inning. And it brings Rachel Rhodes to bat. Rhodes, the 2-run homer back in the 2nd inning. Also a pop out to 2nd in the 3rd. So she's waited a couple innings to get back to the plate. She'll look to take advantage of this opportunity. First pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Rhodes out of Mill Creek High School. Just like Mackenzie Fagioli, her teammate. And she grounds another one over to Conley at shortstop. A longer throw this time. Abanasor showing off those gymnastics lessons from childhood, perhaps. Making the split, sending a cringe through at least half of the audience, and putting 2 away. Now we've got Callie Starr coming to bat. Starr, the shortstop, who hit her first home run in the second inning, poked one over the left field fence, and she takes inside for ball 1. Starr, a freshman, it was the first home run of her collegiate career, and her 7th RBI. Here's the 1-0, another one inside for ball 2. So King off the plate a lot in this inning, configured to the inside portion of it. And a hitter's count coming up for Starr. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Another one floats high for ball 3. Starr in a good position to take a 2-out walk and bring the top of the order to the plate and try and get CSU a couple more runs in time for the 7th inning. And this time King catches the outside corner for strike 1. CSU up 6-2, 2 outs, nobody on, last of the 6th inning. Montevallo down to their last 3 outs. They'll try and get them as soon as they get this out. 3-1 pitch, fouled back toward the on-deck circle. And now all of a sudden it goes from a 3-0 count to 3-2. King was perfect in the 5th inning. Now she's 1 strike away from going perfect in the 6th inning. A strong relief appearance for the junior from Oneonta, Alabama. Payoff pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. Got her with the off-speed pitch. Starr ahead of it all the way, and that will retire the side. 6 up, 6 down for Kelsey King, including 2 strikeouts. Lady Cougars go down in order, and we go into the top of the 7th inning. It's a Lady Cougar lead of 6-2. You're watching CSU softball right here on Cougar Sports TV. Top of the 7th, last chance for Montevallo in game 1. It comes down to Abanasor, Wilson, and Bailey. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Montevallo in their first ever meeting with Columbus State. For Lindsay DeFee, on the mound again for the 7th inning. She is looking for her 3rd complete game of the season. And she is 3 outs away from doing just that. First she gets Sydney Abanasor. Recovered in time from that split over at first base in the bottom of the 6th. And she stands in and takes one below the knees for ball 1. Abanasor on the day, a double play ground ball, a strikeout, and a walk. DeFee with 6 strikeouts and just 1 earned run against. Low for ball 2. DeFee, a workhorse for Columbus State in the circle. The senior from Eufaula, Alabama. An environmental science major here at Columbus State. She would like to help the environment when she gets out of college. And she gets Abanasor to ground foul for strike 1. Reminder of the second game of the doubleheader coming up on Cougar Sports TV. This one shouldn't start much behind schedule. We're coming up on the 5 o'clock hour now here from Columbus, GA. That one originally scheduled to start at 5:30. You'll have a 30-minute delay after the first game for the start of the second game. We could start this thing around 5:40 or so. Translation, don't go anywhere, folks. We got a lot more softball coming up today. First, we got to finish the first one. 3-1 pitch from DeFee. Outside, ball 4. Abanasor taking her second straight walk. And for DeFee, that 1-2-3 inning will continue to be elusive. And DeFee appears to be experiencing some discomfort over on the circle. Whether that's just frustration with the walk or something happened with that pitch. In any case, she appears to be all right. She'll step back onto the rubber for Alexis Wilson. Wilson hit by a pitch in the second, reached on a fielder's choice in the third, and was robbed of a base hit in the fifth inning by a diving catch in center by Kia Smith. First pitch inside, ball 1. Wilson batting with Abanasor on first base and nobody out. Last chance for Montevallo. Down 4 runs, but 4 runs, that's exactly what you get with a grand slam. If they can load it up, they can make DeFee and the Lady Cougars sweat their way through the last of the inning as Wilson lines that one through the gap in right center all the way to the fence. A stand-up double for Alexis Wilson. Abanasor goes over to third base, and don't go anywhere, folks. This one ain't over yet. Abanasor is on third base. Wilson is on second. There are no outs. And Dylan Bailey, who's already come up huge for Montevallo this season, is coming to bat. Bailey cleared the bases in the bottom of the 7th of Montevallo's inaugural doubleheader, the second game there against West Alabama. They were down 8-6 rather, and ended up winning that game 9-8 with Bailey's swing. And a conference in the circle is joined by Brad Huskisson, and DeFee will not get a chance to complete what she started. DeFee exiting after just 4 hits against, 2 runs, 1 earned, 6 strikeouts, a handful of walks. And on in the save situation is Kristen Carr. We'll step away for a moment to let her warm up, and we'll be back in this key top of the 7th inning for the Lady Cougars. You're watching CSU Softball right here on Cougar Sports TV. Kristen Carr, the designated player on the day, now hitting for herself and now pitching for herself. Kay Carr, the top reliever for CSU. This is her 19th appearance of the season, 18th in relief. Already a 7-4 record as a relief pitcher, 3.30 ERA. And she's looking for her first save of the season. With runners on second and third, nobody out. And Dylan Bailey at the plate. First pitch fastball catches the outside corner for called strike 1. Carr with that 6'3" frame has so much leverage as a pitcher. An imposing force for sure. And she comes inside for ball 1. Bailey looking to find any holes in the CSU defense. That would bring home 1 run, maybe 2. They wouldn't be too aggressive on the base paths. As a blooper, past Fagioli into center, base hit. And there's that first run of the inning. Abonosaur scores on the RBI single from Bailey, and now it's 6-3. Columbus State looking for their 14th win of the season, and they're going to have to do some heavy lifting in the top of the 7th. That run charged against DeFee. She's also responsible for Wilson over on third base. Wilson were to score, it would be a 4th run against Lindsay DeFee. Carr's first pitch swung on and missed by Connolly for strike 1. Meeks goes over to second base. They got Bailey in a rundown, but they let her go as they pay more attention to Wilson over at third base. Oh, and 1 is the count to Conley. A fielder's choice and a run, an error, and a bouncer to the circle. Here's a pitch high for ball 2. Throw over to second base, and she's out. Casey Meeks showing off the cannon. Dylan Bailey is caught stealing as Starr applies the tag, and that's the first out of the inning. A costly mistake for Montevallo. They had just 3 outs to go, and they give 1 away. So now Carr can breathe a little bit easier. Just 2 outs to go. And a 3-run cushion as she catches the inside corner for called strike 1. 2, rather. Count goes to 1-2. 1 balls, 2 strikes. And now the pitch. Fastball high for ball 2. CSU clinging to a 6-3 lead. 1 out. Top of the 7th inning. Wilson on third base. Conley looking to keep the rally alive. The 2-2 pitch fouled back to the screen. We'll do it again. DeBoer is on deck. Haley Snyder, the new catcher, in the hole. And the 7th hitter, Conley, at the plate right now. Here's the 2-2 pitch. In there, a called strike 3. Got her with a fastball on the inside corner. Conley diving out of the way of that one, thinking it's too far inside, and she overestimated. First strikeout for Kristen Carr. When she started that at bat, it was nobody out and runners in the corners. Now it's 2 outs and a runner on third. And the last chance for U of M is Phoebe DeBoer. First pitch, fastball, missing inside, ball 1. DeBoer on the day, a pair of walks and a fly out to left field. Came about 15 feet shy of the fence. Carr looking for the save. Here's the 1-0. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 1. Kristen Carr, a strikeout machine in her own right. 49 Ks, now 50 in just a shade under 54 innings of work. Now the 1-1 pitch. Fastball missing high, ball 2. Columbus State 1 out away from clinching the first game of this doubleheader today. The second game will follow in about 30 minutes. Wilson on third, 2 outs. The 2-1 pitch and a bouncer, foul. Now the Falcons down to their last strike. And for Carr, it's a time to be fearless. Even if DeBoer deposits this one beyond the fence, they will still have themselves a 1-run lead. So Carr can afford to be adventurous on this pitch. The 2-2 offering. A little too adventurous that time. Ball 3, bouncing in the dirt. She almost found the strike zone on the bounce that time, but the dirt invalidating what would have been an otherwise good pitch. A payoff pitch coming to Phoebe DeBoer with 2 outs and a runner on third. The pitch inside, ball 4. So Carr tried for the same sort of pitch that she retired Connolly on. Does not get the call this time, and now all of a sudden Kristen has to be careful. The tying run is at the plate in the form of Haley Snyder. Snyder came in to catch in the 6th inning, replacing Shelby Lopez. Singled and scored on an error. And Coach Vanover will send a pinch runner over to first base. That's Darby Duke, number 11, the freshman from Madera Ranchos, California. Madera Ranchos, California. So she will pinch run at first base for DeBoer. Wilson on third. First pitch outside, ball 1. Snyder can tie this thing with a home run. She has no home runs on the season. In fact, her single early in the day was the first base hit for her all season. And she pops one up. Shortstop Starr getting under it, and the ball game is over. Columbus State makes their fans sweat that time, as they do often, but they come away with the W. Montevallo in the top of the 7th. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on base. Your final score in Game 1, the Columbus State Lady Cougars 6, the Montevallo Falcons 3. The win on the day goes to Lindsay DeFee, 6+ innings, allowing 3 runs, 2 of them earned, on 4 hits, 6 walks, and 6 strikeouts. The loss going to Jocelyn Higgerson, who gave up 5 runs through her 2 innings of work, including 3 home runs in the 2nd inning. The save going to Kristen Carr, locked it down for CSU in the 7th inning. Offensive MVP for the Lady Cougars, I'd say you got to give it to, of all the home run hitters, Rachel Rhodes was the most productive with her swat, a 2-run shot back in the 2nd inning for her first home run of the season, and in general as a Lady Cougar. So with a 2-run homer in the 2nd inning, right fielder Rachel Rhodes, your offensive player of the game for CSU. Now we'll take about a half an hour's break and come back for Game 2 between Columbus State and Montevallo in those 30 minutes. So you can go away, have yourself some quick dinner, make a sandwich, take a personal break, listen to Arlo Guthrie's Alice's Restaurant plus 2 other songs, or do what have you, as long as you're back here at approximately 4:45. 4:45 rather. 4:45 if you are over there in Montevallo, Alabama. Until then, on behalf of all of us here at Cougar Sports TV, this is Will DeBoer saying so long for the moment. Columbus State taking the first one 6-3. You're watching CSU softball right here on Cougar Sports TV.